Yo, what's going on, guys? Bexio back, and today we get a brand new video on Plug Power. We've made a couple videos in the past on this channel about Plug, talking about news happening, fundamentals, and things to go on with it. But I want to focus more on a deep dive into the price of Plug, where it can go, where I think that it can be compared to with other companies, and what that would make the price in the future, and kind of get away from this news stuff, but still fundamental and technical talk and all of that stuff. But before we get into that, make sure you smash that subscribe button. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Let's get there. But Plug Power looking like it's in a pretty good spot right now. This is the Webull chart, the price chart for Plug Power. Zooming out, looking at it in a overview type sense, you can obviously see the highs here, $75 all the way down to the lows, and we've actually had a pretty good short-term move. This was this trend line we had here where it bounced here, bounced off it here again, and then broke it. But we formed like basically a triple bottom, massive support at this 23.63 level, and then blasted off all the way above this trend line, and now kind of, bouncing off this moving average close to the trend line, and honestly rejected at this next resistance, 34.13, which is kind of insane. But there's not that much resistance in Plug for it to make moves towards all-time highs and things, at least on the chart. So obviously we have $34 here, basically acting as one. Then we have 39, around 40, around 48, and then 66 until basically new all-time highs. So there's only, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 until basically all-time highs. And we'll see how everything reacts within these zones, and see if it makes new resistance levels and stuff. But seeing Plug rally to over $75 again doesn't look like it would be that massively hard of a thing to do, as well as just coming off of this massive support beam here, triple bottom, basically bounced off it 3 times. That's just massive support, and then blew through the top level resistance up till here. So but we can compare Plug to these other energy giants type companies like Exxon. Obviously, this is a huge energy giant for gas and oil and all of that stuff. So you look at Exxon, and its market cap is $265 billion, a little under, but about $265 billion. And compare that to Plug's market cap, which is only 17.8, so we'll do 18 billion. So 265 billion to 18 billion. So you would do $265 billion market cap over the $18 billion market cap. That would be 14.7 times in market cap. So very simple to get. If Plug could grow to Exxon size, you would do 14.7 times their current price, which is $31.24. That'll give us a price of around $460 per share of Plug Power, and that is obviously 14.7x from here. So that'd be a massive return. That would be amazing. And comparing Plug to even another company like Chevron, another energy giant, that would be they're a little bit smaller than Exxon, but 212 billion roughly. So you can do the same thing for them for $212 billion here. So $212 billion over this $18 billion would give us 11.7x. And then you do that obviously from the price of Plug Power, that would be $365.51. So basically somewhere in the range of 365 to that upper 400s, 459, 460 area. So that'd be the range for Plug to kind of get to become this energy giant in hydrogen, between Exxon and Chevron, which are already energy giants with gas and oil. So I don't think it'd be out of the realm of possibilities for Plug to reach those levels of upper 300s, upper 400s. I think that'd be pretty reasonable. And then on top of that, combine that with these guys offer, Exxon is a 5.5% dividend, and then Chevron is also 4.89% dividend. So they are actually a very high dividend. So on top of this 14x or 11 to 14x opportunity in Plug for the long term, if hydrogen's able to actually take over, on top of that, you'll be able to probably see Plug implement a dividend at that point if they can grow to be that size. And then at that point, you can see, like, if it's industry standard, like these energy giants right now, 5%, even if it's just 3%, it would be a massive upside in the shares right now and in the company right now, and then massive opportunity with passive income and dividends coming in that could absolutely just make Plug a massive company, important hold company for the long term. Obviously, that comes with its own risks. Hydrogen has to be approved as a big fuel energy source for everyone to use. Hydrogen has to be adopted by the market. Obviously, that's big. So it has a lot of factors to it, but I think hydrogen's moving in the right direction, as well as Plug Power moving in the right direction. Plug actually recently had their event on the 14th. This was the massive run-up leading up to their event, and they had obviously talked about, you know, hydrogen adoption, how it's going to create lots and lots of jobs in the US, and they plan on opening 13 green hydrogen plants by the end of 2025. So obviously a big part of this was this part driving the initiatives is a large push by the company to churn out 500 tons per day of liquid green hydrogen in the US by 2025 and establish 13 hydrogen plants by the end of 2025. So right now they're actually looking at I think they have 3, maybe 4 plants in the US that are either being built or actually already built. And then obviously they had their goal to be profitable by 2024. So 2025 is pretty close to that. I think they're going to crush their revenue and stuff and being profitable by 2024. That's their big date, and that's what everyone's basing a lot of these like investments off of, is them actually becoming profitable when they say they are. But a big thing that came out of this event was right here, you know, the vision includes harnessing hydrogen to power airplanes and vehicles. The company announced a partnership with Airbus ahead of the symposium to study the use of so-called green hydrogen produced with renewable energy sources in airports and aircraft. So that'll be a massive thing for Plug itself to get into the airline industry, to kind of provide fuel for that. And it could make sense to use hydrogen in things like that. It's a lot lighter of a fuel and everything. But for hydrogen itself, for Plug itself, they can provide fuel cells to cars and everything, and on top of that be the fuel itself, hydrogen, to stations and to companies to fuel these cars. And they're just expanding their business and putting out those thoughts to be able to provide hydrogen to vehicles, to aircraft, to just kind of take over this hydrogen economy and kind of be the person or the company that is going to be able to run it all. So not only can they push out hydrogen fuel cells, they can also push out the hydrogen itself. They can do a lot of this. They already have this forklift business that they are doing that's doing pretty well with companies like Walmart, Home Depot, GM, and Amazon that are all using this hydrogen and their fuel cells in forklifts in their warehouses. So they've already started on a smaller scale to pushing out hydrogen, to getting it to the companies like them that are using it, as well as their fuel cells. And just expanding that looks like it would be a massive opportunity for them to get even more hydrogen production done and get that fuel supplied to people, as well as have the ability to provide the fuel cells themselves. And even looking at Plug, the forecast from the analysts and stuff, still looking amazing. There's actually 0 sells. I think there was 1 sell rating on this before. Now there are 0. It's only buy and hold with majority buy. The average is 42.86. So 37% upside from analysts, with a high of $78, which would break the all-time high right now. And then these are all 12-month price targets from analysts right now. And we can look at the insiders trading on Plug, and you see the big difference between, you know, this earlier section here and this later one. There was lots of selling, not a lot of buying during this first rally, and now there's lots of buying and not a lot of selling right now. So insiders being bullish on their own company, being able to, you know, think that the future of the company looks great and looks bright, and they're willing to want to buy shares to be a part of that, is a good sign, I think. And when insiders are bullish on their own company, they obviously know more than us ourselves on looking on the outside, trying to look at news and stuff after the fact. So them being bullish is a great sign. And they usually, like, buying at these $26 levels and stuff means that they think that is cheap for the price of the stock where it could have the opportunity to go. And on top of that, not selling at all either into this little rally of over $33, $30 and sustaining above there. No selling coming in. So good signs that they're more bullish on their company and like the way that they're moving. That's going to do it for this video, guys. I just never have talked about like the price of Plug Power, and I think it was interesting to kind of go out there and show by 2024 they want to be positive and bring in revenue and profits for the company. And I think Plug is definitely a 2030 play, something where there's a lot more opportunity and upside in the long term of Plug other than the short term. Obviously right now they're still building out their business and actually burning money instead of making it. So you got to wait till at least 2024. If they aren't making money by then, I think it will be pretty rough, but I think they're on track to do pretty well and continue moving their business forward. But as always, guys, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. See you guys in my next video.